Hi everyone, this is Lynn from DevineCentral. It is January 12th, 2022. I am here with your weekly Wednesday Tarot Mailbag Reading. Today I'm going to be answering a question for a work situation. Short and sweet too. Let's read it. Do I risk telling my boss the reason why I'm leaving? I recently quit my job because of a toxic supervisor and work environment, and my supervisor's boss said they were sad to see me go and asked what in particular made me quit. Should I tell them the truth, or should I keep it vague and say I got a better offer? That's the question. So today we're going to be using a new deck for me. I like this deck a lot. It's the original tarot deck of 78, and it's I got it on Etsy. I found it on Etsy, but I liked it because it's a traditional Rider-Waite, but it's antique-y looking, and so it's got really heavy cardstock. It's really thick. In fact, it's so thick it's almost kind of hard to shuffle, but at the same time it's kind of a pretty deck. So here we go. I thought about this question a lot, and I decided that we're going to start with maybe a summary of the situation, or where this girl is at, and then let's draw three cards on why she should tell her boss the truth, or what if she tells her boss the truth. Okay, and then let's do three on if she just keeps her mouth shut and doesn't say anything, moves on down the road. Okay, and then we'll do a final one for advice from Spirit. How's that? Okay. Okay, so let's start with the summary. Oh my, look at that. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, so here we are. This is about a completion, isn't it? She's just about to the end of the line. This is feeling beat up and you know, the old proverbial road hard and put away wet. She's, you know, kind of done with the situation, feeling battered and bruised and tired of being tested and tired of all the crap, and it just wants to be done with it. And if that does not validate that Spirit hears her conundrum, I don't know what does. So here's where we are, and I think that's really interesting. If she were to tell her boss, or tell the boss's boss, you know, the situation, come clean, as it were, in the situation. You know, we have another 9 here, and 9s again are about completion. This particular 9 is about you know, maybe seeing things worse than they are, though, as well. And I think that that's kind of interesting, because I think that she wants to talk about it. She wants to defend herself. She wants to you know, make the slate clean. But at the same time, she really worries about how if that's going to backfire on her, or if it's going to come back in some way to bite her. And I think that's common, you know, that one would feel that way. But I also think that in the morning light, the situation is not going to be as dire or as problematic for her as she thinks it might be. So I think she's thinking the worst about that situation. And I don't think that should stop her from you know, telling the truth if that's what she wants to do. However, I do feel it's important with Temperance here that she seriously takes a look at, in advance, at what she's going to say and how she's going to say it. And I would just totally avoid extremes in this situation, because that could come back to bite. I think picking her words, coming up with some good middle ground on it, just laying out the facts, not adding any emotion into it, I think could be very helpful and very healing for her. And I think it would take away all the heebie-jeebies. I think she would find at the end of the day, as she's walking out of the boss's office, and for the last time, that it really wasn't as bad as she thought it was going to be. And actually was, again, quite healing. Now, Judgment, I fear that if she doesn't say something, that she would leave room for regret. You know, this is all about self-redemption. This is all about wanting to have a clean slate and be able to walk away without looking back, without thinking woulda, shoulda, coulda. And I think that, you're being called away already, so you know that it's the right thing to do to move. But as far as judgment goes, I think it's clearing out all of the crap and allowing yourself to have that clean slate. So that is the argument for walking in there and telling the boss what the supervisor is up to. Now, let's take a look at the other alternative, which is, let me move these over. Does she just keep her mouth shut? Just be extremely professional, keep her mouth shut, don't say anything, never say anything bad. And these don't look like the greatest cards, do they, for this side? We have a conflict, and a lot of times this is just petty bullshit conflict. But if she goes in and if she goes in and she tells the boss exactly what's going on, I think that it may have repercussions, and she needs to consider, will it have repercussions for the people she leaves behind? Because if there is an issue, that the boss is going to probably go to other people and say, hey, are you having a problem? Now, this might be very beneficial. It might help them, but it also might put them in the line of fire of this supervisor. And so you might be creating this flux that they don't want. You might be creating a problem for them that they don't want. And it's something that you need to think about in advance before you say anything. You will no doubt take your baggage with you. See, to me, the swords in the boat in this Six of Swords, sixes are about harmony restored. So from the five, from the conflict, from the fray, you walked away from the fray, but if you walk away and you don't say anything, you're taking that baggage with you, and only you need to know, or only you need to be able to determine whether or not you can live with that. But I think that clean slates are very important. But I also think protecting the people that you're leaving behind is has equal importance. This card so reminds me of my family's 4 hours away, and whenever I would leave, we would go visit, and we would get back in the car and head back home. On that drive, it seemed like the farther and farther and farther we got from my hometown, the more relaxed and zen-like I become. And it just reminds me of this card that the farther you get away from the situation, the more relaxed, the easier it's going to be for you. And so there is, so even if you choose not to say anything, just keep it professional and walk away. You're going to feel burdened, I think, in the beginning, but at the end of the day, I think that eventually you're going to be able to slough it off. Now, interestingly enough, we have another 5 here. We have the 5 of Pentacles. And, what is this saying to you? I think it's saying that the grass may not be greener, is how I'm seeing this right now. This is what I'm feeling. You might find that part of this problem after you leave is not necessarily all the supervisor. You might find that some of it you brought on yourself. Maybe you are just overly sensitive about how people react and treat you, and so you need to give this some real serious thought. If how much of this is you? What did you bring to the table? And what is your part in creating this environment? Because again, it's you know what I'm saying? You don't want to have it back again. You don't want to have it backfire on you. No. And could it backfire on you? Yes, it could. Because maybe the supervisor is not going to be happy, and he's going to, he might come after you, and he might call your new job. He might bring it. So that's a reason. There's 2 reasons why you might want to just keep it to yourself and move on. But even if you do, you still need to look at your role in it. So what is advice from Spirit? Let's take a look. Advice from Spirit would be, if you are truthful and if you are honest, not just with the boss, but with yourself, be sure to combine that with kindness and compassion. So pick your words carefully. And I don't think this situation is going to be as bad as you think it is. I think once you get away, you're just going to be so happy. That's what I see, and that is this Wednesday's reading. I hope that you will come back and see me. I'm here every week. I'm doing annual readings right now. It's a great time to do it. I'll put the information below if you'd like to have me do an in-depth annual for you. It's a great spread. It's not just here's what's going to happen every month. It's got more to it than that. Also, I am doing I'm doing monthly zodiac readings. So whatever the case, I hope to see you back soon. Bye-bye.